Okay. All right. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I am Sabrina Arifin. I am the president and founder of Society for Equality, Respect and Trust for All Sabah, also known as SERATA. So why we are here today? We are here because it's Father's Day, and Father's Day is one of the issues that we are very concerned with. And so what we do in SERATA is we are a gender equality organization that focuses on encouraging men and boys to be part of the solution. And one of the topics that we focus on is actually about active and engaged fatherhood. And we are actually a partner of ManCare, which is a campaign around the world, around 50 countries. And so this year, in conjunction with Father's Day, at SERATA, we want to highlight fathers' important roles in the family, especially in ending rape culture, an issue that is becoming increasingly prevalent. And this panel session is actually a part of our ongoing campaign, which is Budaya Rogol Bukan Budaya Kami, which aims to encourage more people, especially men, to speak up against sexual harassment, to raise awareness on consent, sexual harassment and rape culture, and also to push for the Sexual Harassment Act to be passed, which hasn't been passed. Yeah, we don't have a Sexual Harassment Act, and to encourage survivors to speak up or take action against their perpetrators. So I am very happy today because we have three exceptional men to speak on the panel session today, especially on the issue of taking action for safer and inclusive spaces for everyone, starting from schools. And on the panel list is, first of all, we have Tuan Saiful Nizam, who is the father of Ain Husniza, who started the hashtag Make School a Safer Place campaign. Yes, and also we have Alan O, who is my former colleague at the college, and he's now a counseling psychologist and a consultant at Gleneagles Hospital. And also we have Severina Skitingan. I know him from Toastmasters. From the very first time I met him during a Toastmasters contest, actually, he talked passionately about his child. So I thought, yes, this would be a perfect panelist to bring on for this topic today. So how's everyone today? Good?
Good. Enjoying the MCO.
Okay, so since it's Father's Day today, right? I would like to ask, how has your Father's Day been? Maybe we start with Tuan Saiful.
First of all, I would like to say thank you very much for inviting me. Regarding Father's Day, as for my family, we are just an ordinary family that we didn't really celebrate on a specific day, you know. We just, okay, it is a mutual respect, whereby as a child, as a father, as a mother, then you respect them, then so for us it is every day is Father's Day, every day is Mother's Day, every day is everyone's day. So that's how we go.
That's great. Yes. How about Alan? How was your Father's Day today?
Father's Day is like any other Sunday. It is a Sunday, so we get to wake up a little bit later, have breakfast together. That's what we do normally. But what was good was yesterday. Yesterday my daughter's kindergarten online class. They made cards for us. So that's one of the things which I received yesterday.
Oh, that's nice.
Father's Day's cards, yeah.
Yes, my son already also made his card actually on Monday, and he has been holding on to it until yesterday. Yeah. So savoriness. How has your Father's Day been today?
Well, normally we always try to find things together in the previous 2 years. So Father's Days we normally gather around. It's an excuse to to get together with the families. But this year it's just, well, can you go back kampung? So it's just us and the kids. So I got them Happy Meals today. Although it's Father's Day, they still behave the same. So the challenges is still the same. But today I get to be a Superman for a while. The rest of the days will be the Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. So while we're on that topic, how has parenting changed for you, if any, as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic? Safe.
Oh, yeah. I get to spend a lot more time with my family, one thing, and especially with my kids. And I just got to know that teaching or being a teacher to your own kids is not easy. Yeah, it's totally different. And when I send my kids to their teachers for homeschooling, and I ask them whether they behave well and they do the homework, and they say, yeah, it's easy to handle. And then, oh, okay, how come they behave differently when they're with the parents? So perhaps maybe Ellen could explain this psychologically, why children behave with, you know, differently when they're with their parents. It's a challenge, but it's also a learning experience for us. But the good thing is, it's still a blessing that we get to spend more time with the kids.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I'm just like, yeah, COVID-19 means I stay home all day, and then also having to deal with my son's homework. The It's not so bad until it comes to Chinese homework. Then I'm like, what is going on? Like, oh, okay, just looking at the screen. Oh, that's what they're supposed to do. But yeah, I really need help in that department. Yeah. But what about Tuan Saiful? Has that COVID-19 changed your, how you behave, how you have to be a father?
COVID-19 mainly when it comes to online class, that's very challenging. Very, very challenging because the commitment and then the excitement of the kids to learn online is different, because they would like to have their friends surrounding, and then our kids has so many personality, they have their own traits. And as for my kids, one of them, they like to be in class, in physical class. So when you need to wake them up, come on, bangun, pagi nanti ada kelas. So to get them move and join the class until today is still a big challenge,
How many kids do you have, Tuan?
I have 5 kids.
5 kids. Wow. Okay, that must be.
I only have 2, and it's already a headache.
I only have 1. It's already a headache. What about you, Alan?
I have only one. She's 6 years old. Teaching your own child is always very difficult. There are always there are different challenges. They choose not to listen. Sometimes say you're my dad, so sometimes dad play with me one, so I can find a way how to get out of it, as much as much as I can. But yeah, that's why I have to work together with my wife. My wife, of course, is the main teacher kind of thing. Because she only don't learn just writing. Well, she also learn music because my wife is a music teacher. So she focus a lot on those kinds these kinds of subjects like music. So yeah, it's kind of fun, but at the same time, it's very stressful too. I don't have an answer why this thing happened, but this our closeness with them is our have to communicate and learn how to teach as a father. When it's a teacher, only one role. We have dual role, father and teacher together. It becomes very complex.
Yeah.
And I do think school has its physical school is good because like us, we learn how to follow routine, wake up early also because of school. kalau tiada sekolah, we won't be waking up early also, right? So it is a training, like that kind of thing. Then how do we put this? I was always asking myself, how do I put this practice at home? But for my daughter, when I wake up, I wake up quite early. It's about 6 a.m. Sometimes 6, latest about 6:15. Half an hour later, she also wake up already. She already know I wake up already. She'll be looking for me already. Looking for breakfast. You know, I'm the breakfast preparer. So looking for breakfast. So she wakes up quite of same time with me, more or less the same time. So in that arena, she still wake up early. But to follow routine is another thing. It's another challenge.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, like, suddenly there's previously we already had the routine what time we have to wake up to go to school, and nowadays it's like it's all out of the window already. Right. Okay, so moving on. Yeah, let's go into the questions. So for Save, I know that you've only been a dad for 5 years, but are there any issues that you worry about when it comes to raising your kids?
Yes, definitely. I think it's normal for parents, and especially if they are out of your sight, and when they go to school. My kids, my 5-year-old just started kindergarten, and because of the pandemic, well, they have to go online at the moment. But when you get stories of abuse in schools, it worries you. I have a daughter who's 3, and I was thinking, well, where would be it's not only just okay looking for the good school, but you have in mind looking for the safest school. Yeah, more and more stories like this, and especially with the social media, they're so fast. Even before the national news is up, with all sort of things, whether it happens, bullying happens at schools, or even abuses at children's home or whatever. So it does worry me as a parent. Yeah, it worries me whether my son would be a bully or would he be bullied. To that level. Even he's at the stage whereby socializing is just he just started to get to know other kids of his age and learning how to interact. So yeah, he did raise up quite and interesting things at school as well. Like the other day, he got angry to his teacher because the teacher told her that he cannot share the biscuits because of COVID. So that one of the SOP, they cannot share foods to other friends, and she was really mad. So we have to talk to him that we really have to find the right way to explain so that he doesn't become rebellious and become a bully later on. That sort of thing goes in our mind as parents. Yeah. So even at this stage, we do worry about the safety of our children and how would they behave as they grow up.
Yeah, I mean, a lot has changed, right, from the times we were kids, and then now there's additional challenges added on, especially because of social media and
Yes.
things like that. And yeah, so yeah, so next question, I think because Tuan Saiful, you have a daughter, and who recently spoke up about rape culture in school, right? So what do you think? Should this ending rape culture begin from school?
Okay, talking about rape culture, I think it happens in many other places as well, not only in school. But when we are talking to teach our children, ending rape culture is not only starts in school, but starts in our own home. But it should be continued systematically. A systematic approach in schools by the teachers themselves to help these children to understand rape culture is not something that can be taken lightly. And to some students, we can see that they look up very much to their teachers, you know. They respect so much, and whatever the teachers are saying, that's what they're going to instill in their mind. And from there, yeah, parents and now the schools, we need to work together, not only from home. It starts from home, but schools need to continue a systematic approach. So this kind of issue can be handled, and our kids know what's wrong and what's not. And because we can see when the things happen to Ain, some of her friends, even some of the adults, we didn't understand what's wrong with just it's just a joke, you know, nothing happened to you. So this kind of understanding, awareness, we need to amplify, especially in schools, and it is good because currently we do have such subject being taught in school. For example, what happened to Ain, actually the teacher is teaching about the sexual harassment, but he himself then did the things that he said don't do to the other people. And this is what we can see is that even the teacher himself, they didn't really understood what is teaching about. So yeah, my opinion is any culture starts from home, but schools need to take a bigger action, a bigger approach, a systematic approach, so our kids can really understand what's going on, what is their right, and they can stand up and speak up if such thing happens to them.
Yeah, I think it also boils down to the culture. Like we still don't understand what is rape culture. Why is it wrong to be talking about issues like this? You know, like in such a very what to say lah, like making it into a joke, you know, because it's not funny and people don't really understand why people, why we take offense at this speaking about it like that. Yes. So now I would like to ask Ellen, what are some of the examples of harassment in schools that you have come across in your work?
You see, harassment. When we talk about harassment is actually essentially another form of what they call bullying. Another form of bullying, and bullying can not only like in this case, it happened. The bully is the adult. You know, it's the adult. The one should not be doing it. It is the adult. Also it also come from our friends. You know, friends can harass each other, you know, because of certain reasons, like, hey, this particular person, this particular girl, for example, this particular girl looks pretty, looks very clever, very intelligent, everything. Of course, it will attract positive vibes, but at the same time, it will also attract negative vibes too. And these negative vibes sort of created rumors about this particular lady, this particular girl, and then it becomes a full-fledged bullying, emotional bullying. You know, calling the girl a slut, calling a girl the whole school look at her in a very negative way, saying that she's popular because she did certain things, those kind of things. So this kind of emotional trauma is what it's like. I see quite a number of cases like this. Emotional trauma due to very much emotional bullying, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I do see that when I was growing up. I guess like for girls, I think it was quite hard, especially if you're quiet, if you're or different in any way. Somehow, yeah, sometimes girls can be as mean to other girls as well as the boys or men taking advantage of girls. So actually girls have so much that they have to worry about? I don't know, in terms of school, in terms of growing up. Yeah. What about Safe? What is your opinion about bullying or harassment at schools? Safe, you're on mute.
Okay. Yeah, I think we need to, parents especially, because I agreed with Saiful that this awareness about bullying and sexual harassment we should start to teach our kids about that one. Yeah. In the past, I think most of us look at bullying as only like physical bullying, but we need to be aware that it also comes as in other things like what Alan mentioned, the emotional bullying and other things which just mentions of like what happened to Saiful's daughter, huh? And I've seen the videos that from his YouTube actually. I went through and I was surprised that the person that's supposed to be talking and giving awareness about sexual harassment is making a remarks which the person might thought that it's just a joke, but when you think about this, these are the things that we're not fully aware of. And like Sabrina said, it's, I think our culture is one of it. So we have to learn and started to teach our children, our generations now. I do not know the next generation would be up to a level of awareness like the Western countries about sexual harassment and other things, because without realizing sometimes we just take it as a joke, and we should be more, you know, have that empathy feelings. What do you think the others would feel if that same thing is said to you? So we need, I think, to start from home, and I try as much as possible also to make my young kids understand at the early age, okay, what is this, what is that, and I try to Google a few things how to make them understand, how to understand them as well. Yeah, most of the time I was like just feeding in things to them without listening to them. So there are times that we need to listen to them as well, like that they do understand or not. And feeding this kind of thing is not, it wouldn't happen just like that and they would understand. So I hope that parents would take the initiative to teach their children about emotional bullying as well, not just bullying in terms of physical, but sexual harassment and all that, to get them ready to be, so that they don't get that cultural shock when they go back to school, especially now during MCOs, right? Back to you, Shabu.
Yeah, indeed. Like I agree with you, Safe. Like this education actually starts from home. It's really important for the kids to see the parents, you know, behaving in that way, because they will learn from what the parents are doing. And yeah. So Tuan Saiful, as you were the person who was intervening as a parent of a child that's being bullied, what are some of the challenges that you experience?
Challenges, mainly is about emotional support to Ain. You know, because for the first 2 weeks, almost every night she will cry before sleep. You know, because there's a lot of burden, there's a lot of things going on, and the backlash, you know, even the backlash coming from the teachers, you know. There's one specific teachers Facebook group saying things that is very, very rude, and they're saying what Ain's, they're body shaming Ain. They're saying that because she doesn't wear the hijab, and she's saying that, oh, she's actually wanted attention from the teachers. So when she doesn't get that, so that's why she bring this up. Even from the peers, the friends, saying that sikit-sikit sudah lah. bising-bising lagi buat apa? Even some of them saying that this issue can be solved within their schools. Yeah, they should know that we try to solve within the schools. Even the day after we contacted the counselor, saying, complaining to the counselor, and what the counselor said, oh, she is too sensitive, you are too emotional, you should come on the Monday, meet me, and let me therapy or counsel you so you could understand that. The boys is always like that. So, and you know, after the counselor said that, I told Ain, now you try to contact your class teacher. That we are getting the same response. So that's why I'm glad because this thing went viral. And you must remember that it's not Ain that made this thing went viral. It's those other TikTokers, Twitters, you know, they made this issue went viral. Because why? This is not an isolated issue that only happened to Ain. You know? So from there, we do understand, yeah, this is not something that only can be solved within the school. We need to bring this to the higher level of authority. But yet until today, we didn't get any response. The response that we are not trying to blame the teacher. We are not trying to damage the reputation of the school. That is the best daily school in Kuala Selangor. We are not doing that. We just want to make sure that this doesn't happen again. And the balance is tremendous because for kids 17 years old, and I just like another teenager, she's just having pergi sekolah happily, belajar, and then this kind of thing happens. She feels injustice, but yet until today, we are the ones who are being blamed for whatever that is happening. So for me, the emotional support is imperative for Ain, especially for me to show my wife, to show to her that we are supporting you all the way. We doesn't want you to lose hope. Still keep on believing. That's what we are doing, and I'm very grateful for whatever support that we are getting. Even though you are saying, I thank you for your bravery. Some people might say just a small thoughts, but for us, it is very, very big and very impactful, especially to Ain.
Yeah, I have to definitely applaud you as a father for being so supportive towards Ain, because I think I would imagine that a lot of parents would say, janganlah, you know, duduklah diam-diam, janganlah cari pasal, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Even I would like to add some more thoughts about it, because this thing happened to Ain in the class, kan? So ada kawan-kawan lain, girls yang memang during the thing happen, they also feel so insecure, threatened, and at first they were supportive towards Ain. Okay, go for it, Ain. But then once the things went viral, everyone starts to step back. Even some of them, Ain ni lebih-lebih nak minta kaki lah ni, kaki sokong macam nak belasah lah kan. Even I asked some of the parents to buatlah report juga kan. So we have another ni. It's okay, you dah buat report, then it's okay.
My goodness. Yeah, but sad to say lah, that's body shaming, and then, you know, using the, you know, whether you wear the tudung or not, has always been a very touchy subject lah, that people use to excuse the boys or excuse the men for their behavior, which I think it's really wrong, because people are still humans regardless of what they wear.
So I'm very sorry to say that most of those negative comments coming from so-called agamawan, you know, I'm a Muslim, kan? So some of this ustazah or so-called acak-acak ustazah ni, you doesn't wear tudung, that's why this kind of threat coming, that's why people get raped. You know what is my answer to them? Hey, please, those kids learning in Tafiz, boys also getting raped by the principal. Those kambing, those Haiwan also getting raped. So what's our rights all about? And yeah, this is very sensitive to them, you know.
Yeah, sometimes it's really hard to find a way to talk about this without insulting people. I don't know lah. Yeah, but yeah, let's move to Ellen. What are the signs of a child that is being harassed or bullied at school by schoolmates? Maybe we
Okay,
can, yeah.
when you say physical bullying, we can see very easily bruises, luka, that kind of thing, you know, kepala that kind of thing. This is very easy to find. But the emotional bullying one, it's not so easy because the person who is bullied sometimes hide it away from the parents. Tak mau susahkan parents, so they will tend to hide away, you know, and they become more reserved. So one of the signs here is they become more reserved, they become more withdrawn, and sometimes certain small things they become very irritable, meletup like that. Okay, and one thing to notice here is like this: if your child sometimes every day wears long sleeve shirts or jacket, even though on a hot day, then there's something for you to check because they could be cutting themselves. Okay, because they cover. So this is based on what my talk with my other patients lah. You know, I said slowly they bring up to me. You know, I try to cope by cutting. So I said, if you cut, how do you keep it away? I wear long sleeve lah. Even on a hot day, yeah, also on a hot day, nobody knows. Yeah.
Yes.
So as a parent, if you have a teenage daughter, I have a 6-year-old daughter. He's growing up very fast. It's a teenage. He's going to be there already. Knowing whatever I know sometimes as aftermath freaks me out sometimes. You know, really freaks me out. You know. But then at least what I'm here is to share with you, fathers especially and mothers too. If you see your teenage daughter or teenage child start to be very reserved, especially for daughters, teenage, they start to wear long sleeves all the time, very conspicuous. Always try to what I. It's time to ask the question: what is actually happening? What is actually happening? Yeah.
Okay.
So these are some of the there are many signs, but I'm just highlighting a few signs that parents should, including myself, should be very aware, because these days cutting kind of frequent, kind of prevalent among teenage girls, especially if they have some kind of emotional problem, and most likely that kind of emotional problem comes from some kind of bullying somewhere. Okay, human beings, definitely we go to our life, we go to two places in here. Okay, generally two places which we actually spend our time. One at home, another one at school if we are studying. If we are at work, if we are already working, then it's at work. So home and work. So whatever which happens in these two places, it will sort of trickle in to each other one. So we got to be very what you call sensitive to this scene, these two areas of where they spend time. Yeah, they may come from the school, or maybe we are the way we treat them is creating that what trouble also. So it's for us to be also open with ourselves lah. What the child is taking in every day in school and at home. Whatever we are trying to say here is actually from school. Yeah, something happening from school which is affecting the child. So emotional problems come normally very common among teenage girls. Normally you will see them talking about the school very often, and sometimes they will talk about home, but most likely they will talk about what is happening in your school, with their friends, with their teachers, and those things, that kind of environment
Okay.
that can cause that emotional problems that they have, and they need to find a way how to relieve that. And cutting is already painful already, but you know that when they tell me when they cut that time, they feel very, very good, because they feel so numb already, so long of that suffering in school, that kind of pressure. They have to numb themselves every day, pekatkan diri, tak mau dengar, so they slowly become numb, right? And they couldn't feel anymore already. It's so painful inside that they have to sleep. They have to cut, but they don't cut until they a lot of blood. It's just like this, like a scratch kind of thing. They also know, they also don't want to cut too deep, because mereka tak mau mati. They don't want to die. They want the relief, so they sort of cut themselves in a certain way for some blood to come up, some feeling to be there. So these are the things that we as parents, as dads, as parents, we have to be very aware of it. I'm not freaking you out. It may not happen, but be aware of whatever which is happening with our children.
Okay. To follow up, then, if the parents do find out that the kid is being bullied or harassed, what can they do actually?
For me, personally, if for me, I can talk for me, like, of course I will go and see the school and talk to the school, and if ever for me, if I know that the child cannot cope in that situation anymore, it's time to move. It's time to move. It doesn't matter. It doesn't show any failure on our side or the child, because environment is toxic. If we as workers, we find that our working environment is toxic, we cannot tahan the friends and the bosses doing things to us, we also leave. But for the child, we ask them to tahan some more, belajar, that kind of thing, to learn how to handle these things. It's unfair. We know that it cannot. Let's put it out. But at the first place, we should be what I call be aware when earlier, don't wait until that part, being there all the time to monitor. I know this is a very, very stressful thing for us, because we have to work too. But it's good to just every now and then check in with the child, how they're doing, what they're doing in school, who are they talking to, how are they interacting with friends. As a 6-year-old in kindergarten, they already have groupies already. I don't remember 6 years old, I have that kind of groupie too. I don't care, Got groupie already. Ini kawan saya, itu kawan dia. Oh, those kind of things. So I hear from my child, they say 6 years old sudah ada kawan. They only this, only friend only, that only friend only. Then that's where we get to find out and talk to them how to cope with this before anything serious, more serious things happen, or bigger things happen.
Okay. So in summary, the parents should always be like aware of the kids. At least communicate with them very often. Ask.
But I'm not asking you to be helicopter parent. So helicopter parent itu mereka tak tahan juga. They become very cooked. Then we are the cause of we become the cause of the emotional problems that they have. You see. So well, I know. Just like, first of all, I'm not saying that this intention of caring for the child is wrong. We need to have the care. The care is very, very important. We need to care for our child. But how we do it, the technique, what we have to be creative, try lah. There's no textbook answer to exactly what to do. They say support, but support, there's so many types of support that works for the child. So we need to go and we have to try. Read and try that kind of thing.
Okay. I have a question from someone here. She asked, what is the position or action taken by the school as of now? I think this is for Tuan Saiful to respond.
As of now, there's no action being taken. Only that the teacher being transferred to the education department for the time being until the things settle. And for the schoolmates that made the rape threat, no action taken at all. And that's the main reason why I didn't go to school for the first 3 days after the incident went viral. And because of that, the teacher is still there teaching, the kids still there coming to school, and I didn't go to school, and she got a warning letter of expulsion because of that. And to make things worse, that I went to the school on the same day that the letter being addressed to Ain. Hari sama pergi jumpa principal, and bila balik the same day dia keluar surat hantar through post laju 5 days later sampai rumah. So that's when I think the school is not they doesn't know what's going on, they doesn't understand what's the problem, so I have to move from there. And the teacher, before being transferred to the education department, he still went to the school teaching, and because I'm adik lagi seorang from 3, school, a boy, school, same school, and this teacher went to another school, another class, masuk dalam kelas nangis, crying, telling that he's being I'm doing something wrong, and then he's telling me very sad story in dalam class. So all the kids are supporting him, and I'm very sad because by right, once the thing happened, we got the report, got the complaint from parents. So principal should bagi cuti lah sekejap, kan, this teacher. It's not about punishing, bagi cuti, because the investigation is going on. Tapi it doesn't happen, and the transfer of the teacher only happened about 2 or 3 weeks after. So that's all. Nothing else happened since then.
Hi. But since this case, do you think there has been any changes in how people behave when you talk about sexual harassment?
Yeah, of course. We have both sides of response. Then negative side, yeah, we can ignore for a while. For the positive side is that people start to understand why this is a big issue, need to be handled and need to be addressed properly. And we can see, since the issue, you can see there's a lot of webinar, there's a lot of talk show, there's a lot of even posters by those artists to raise the awareness. And in TikTok, and I'm proud to share this, is about there's already a lot of kids in the same age of teenagers or small, they start to create content, video, talking about awareness of this rape culture, talking about the sexual grooming and women rights and so on. So this is very good impact out of whatever that is happening to Ain. So I'm very, very proud because we used to know that TikTok kan content joget-joget lah apa lah kan, but then now we can see TikTok has a lot of content yang bagus-bagus nowadays. People start to raise awareness, and people, even the victim themselves, very inspired with Ain, and they somehow gain the bravery to share, come forward and to share their experience. Even there's one individual, Putri, she created an Instagram account, Save the School MY, and this is where victims can share their stories anonymously, and she, within 1 month's time, she collected almost 700 stories.
Oh, wow. That is a lot of stories.
And I cannot stand to read because very emotional, every story is wow. But this is a positive output coming from the issue.
Yeah. So listening to this Save, do you have any idea like how can we all, as a father, ensure that schools are safe for all?
That's a very possible. But what please.
Whoever. You want to Save? You want to go first or Saif?
I'm just surprised with what Saiful has shared just now, and especially with the girl who opened up an Instagram account, collected over 700 stories. Now, that's just too significant for education department not to take some actions, or at least increase the awareness of uh, emotional bullying, or all sort of bullying at schools, and sexual harassment, or sexual educations. You know, I was surprised that the school where your daughter was schooling before did not, like, maybe conduct an awareness campaign of sexual harassment or bullying. After that, at least that would show the support of, it's just said that, you know, as a father, I've been thinking, what if my daughter would go to such schools and this thing happens, you know? And not only that, I was thinking of my daughter, because boys get abused too, you know. So it goes back to parenting again at home, where we need to give them earlier awareness and education, and to be for them to prepare them for school. But at the same time, the school must also conduct the same thing, so the parents like us would feel that that's a safe school.
Yeah.
They'll come to a level that parents will be looking for a safe school and not a good school. You know, there'll be a time, where's the safe school? Not like, where's the good school?
Yeah,
Things
that's
are
a good.
changing now. Things are changing. Yeah.
I think that's a great point. Like there should be a certification for safe school, you know, so that,
Yeah.
so that when the parents say, "Oh yes, I feel safe to send my kids there," rather than just
Yeah.
talking
You know,
about.
all this, since there's a lot of social media, school should have, like, ratings, yeah. A 5-star rating for safety, 3-star rating for
Oh,
education, so whatever. Uh, Parents could, this is a good school. Not just shops with their goods, but why not schools?
yeah, that's right. That's right. Maybe we should do that after this. Well, yeah. Tuan Saiful, maybe you have something to add.
I, yeah, like Save said just now, kan, actually this school, if they look towards the issue positively, then once the thing went viral, they can invite in, let's go and make a joint statement. Yeah, school will have to banish such incident from happen again, for example, kan. But then they didn't take such step, and they just would like to blame the victim and try to protect their reputation, so called. So, and I don't know if you know this, that there's one time, one of my posting in Facebook being commented by so-called the principal.
Oh yeah.
You know that?
Yeah. That's horrible.
She called mine as anak setan, you know, a hypocrite that's wearing a hijab. That, but when the things went viral again, because of this principle, she went to the balai and made a report that her Facebook account was hacked by, I don't know, somebody else. So
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I can't imagine that must be even more traumatic, you know, to have to go through that and then having to listen to someone who's supposed to be your teacher, someone you look up to, calling you horrible names like that. Yeah, but Alan, what do you think? How can someone, like a parent, help their child to cope, you know, with this sort of post trauma of being bullied or harassed?
Let's go into let me just go on to prevention first, okay?
Okay.
No doubt we want safe school, we want everywhere to be safe, but face it, you know, this world got a lot of bad people around. Yeah. So what we need to do as a parent, as for me, is to educate the child to how to defend themselves. Defend themselves, not go and martial arts. But defend themselves means that when you hear something is not right, Please come back and tell me. Please come back and tell me. So we know what to do, is because the child has not much authority. Has not much of the authority is on us. The decision is on us, that we need to go. We need to know this. So if we can have this start this communication, this open communication of our child very often, keep on checking in on them, they will trust and tell us what is happening outside there. It's not only school. What if you go to dance class? Dance class, music class. In the music class, is example, you go to the music class, it's one-to-one. The door is closed. You don't know anything, right? Dancing class, you also small group, nobody knows, you know. So anything outside there, they must be able to come back. Have this channel where outside is all very chaotic, very unsafe. The home is the place that they can come for real security. Someone that can listen to, someone to listen, and someone that can protect me. They can stand up for me. That kind of thing. That is more of a prevention kind of thing, for me personally, because it's good to have the system to do that for us, but the system will take time. System has bureaucracy. System has other issues weighing on one. So we need to start from like I start from home. Some home is like this now. For me, is to keep on checking in what's happening in school, what's happening in dance class, what's happening in this place, how was it, you know. Even though we are outside waiting there, we also don't know what's happening inside. You know, the door is closed. You know?
Yeah.
Those kind of things. So that kind of checking in is good, you know, to just create that kind of channel for the child to come back, even though he's at an older age, he's going out there to work already, he's facing troubles outside there, he still have a limb home mode, you know, that come back home, anything, so come back home, balik rumah. Yeah, this is the place that is safe, and we can talk about it, we can find a way here, you know, and outside it's not accepting you, inside here, don't worry, come back here. So that's more of what they call to actually prevent. As to for aftermath, we need to do aftermath. I'm very concerned is what we do with to help the child to go through to cope to go and also to go through this whole emotional trauma. That one requires to be in some point of time. Some kind of interview or some kind of counseling or treatment is actually necessary for me personally, because it's a very big trigger. Yeah, a very big trigger. So in some point of time, there's a need for every bullying case. There's a bully case. There must be there should be treatment after that. If the school is not the system can't do it, then you got to find outside outside from the school kind of treatment to find out whether how much has this event has affected them. And because it affects them so greatly, it can be an emotional burden for them in future life. What if they don't trust people anymore? Or what if they become too trusting? Or sorry, too clingy in order to get approval from people? They've been bullied and they've always been rejected. So maybe I have to do more to seek more approval at one end. That's one end. Another end is probably you don't want to do that. You don't like everybody. You become very toxic. Toxic to everyone around you. Those kind of things, and we need to perform in society, you know. So it's good to some point in time to find out how the bullying has affected the person, and then go for some recovery treatment so that they can proceed with life. That's what I mean. And you.
Yeah, I mean, like, in other countries, like for example Australia, if they are working in a position that requires them to take care of kids or handle kids, they need to have this special card or something. It's called the blue card, where they have I think they have like they have to go certain trainings, they have to have a release from the police department, and all that. But that's not happening here in Malaysia. I think maybe because again, cost, or it's a system that maybe is a bit complicated to start. But I really do hope to see something like that, like in the future, especially because we need babysitters. And a lot of working mothers, they actually have a problem because they don't have proper care, like someone to take care of the kids, that someone they can trust lah. I mean, there's so many scary stories already about sending your kid to unregistered babysitters. Yeah. So, but that's another topic for another day. Yeah. So Saif also mentioned this earlier, that he's afraid of raising a bully or perpetrator. Yeah. So what can parents do to prevent this? Yeah, Alan, maybe you can answer that first.
Like I say, we have to check in, find out how people they're interacting with others. You have to find out, are you doing this to other people also? As much as people doing that to you, are you doing it first? Find out interaction, because it's all interactional. They, as they grow up, they want to be friends. They become very, very conscious of, I don't want to be alone already. When they are probably one, two, three, sorry, they are you start kindergarten 4, 5. They just want to have fun, mind, When they come to 6 and 7, they start to have this, I want friend already, and then they are learning how to become friends. And how are they learning how to be friends? What are they saying to their friends? And sometimes what they say can repel the other friend too, and that's why it comes back to them. So it's good to also check in with them. How are you doing with this friend? How are you doing with all your friends? So they can tell you, and then from there you can offer some ideas. Yeah, some ideas how to teach them how to make friends. And I find that this is the to learn, you need this kind of environment, or else how to learn. You can't learn befriending from books. You can't. You have to be with people, and then along the way we check in and find out what are their challenges with their friends, and then giving them another opinion, because sometimes they may not have that, they can't see another perspective, so we give them another perspective. So this is part of helping them to grow up, to become adults. Those kind of things, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What about
another thing? I think we need to also have need to teach them and also monitor the use of social media. I don't think there's any. Social media is a platform. Yeah, it's like it is a platform for people to voice out things. But then we here have to as a parent, we need to put boundaries what they can do on it, because sometimes like this one, I'm not saying expressing yourself is wrong, but once you express it, you need to know what's the consequences of it. You need to know consequences. Dulu kita cakap in the class finish already, nobody say anything. But now people record the viral already. Viral fast, it's very fast. It's very, very fast. Last time it's just within the class finish already, nobody, they probably tell a little bit their parents and finish. Now ambil gambar, someone viral is very, very fast. So the consequences is like this. There will be 3 groups of people. One group will support you. One group fan sisters. Another one kecam habis. Kecam habis. Okay. So this kecam habis one is the one that will create a lot of emotional upheaval. So we need to teach our child what to post. You want to post this, what will happen actually? What kind of consequences? Because now anything go viral one. You will attract good and you will attract the kecam one also. And there is also fence-sitters yang baca saja. Yang baca saja. But because they baca the kecam one, they may jump towards the kecam one. The one who support baca one may not say this is a silent one, silent one. But then we get a lot of the emotional upheaval is from the kecam one.
Yeah.
Just one or two people saying bad things and saying very bad things, and you really kena already. So it's for me. This is my challenge.
Okay.
You know, on social media, because we can't divorce ourselves from social media. You can, you say cannot, but then we know that it is a tool. We need to be use this new tool, but how to use this a new tool, we are still learning. You know, we are still learning. No textbook yet. No book to tell you what yet. It's just generally say that you must have boundary. Boundary doesn't mean control. Boundary means that if you have a boundary, then our child can grow safer within the boundary. And as they grow up, we increase the boundary. We increase some more until they are at the age 18. We can lepas sudah. But that also must have something we still in contact, that kind of thing. You know? So yeah, learning how to supervise child on the social media, how to use the social media is still something. I think personally it's still a very, very new thing. That there's no fixed guideline, and there's a lot of ideas, but we have to come up with our own guidelines for our own children. What works for me may not work for you, your family, that kind of. But it is an idea. Okay.
Okay. Safe, you're looking very worried. Do you have anything to weigh in?
Yeah. I mean, for us parents, parenting has become more challenging these days, because the kids seems to grow so fast as well, because they have more interactions, not just with the parents but with the social media as well. As simple as the YouTube kids, right? So it's good. The good thing is my kids learn a lot from there. The other thing as well is my kids also knows how to change the setting on YouTube, and he also watches other things. So that that is a challenge. And for me, I think parenting is like playing a kite. You know, they're like a kite. You don't want to pull, otherwise it won't go up so far. You know, and at the same time you just release just a little bit, but it also depends on the winds. And you cannot just pull all the way, otherwise they'll be confined and will not grow at all. You have to release bit by bit and pull a bit, give them freedom, but not really with the strings attached, until the time that you can just release them, like what Helen said. So but then again, each parent has their own unique type and different winds or storms to face. So it really depends on what is the relationship between the parents and the kids. I think my kids, when he started to go to kindergarten, the second week, because I always ask him, okay, what's happening at school today? How was your school? And the second week, he already told me that he's got a girlfriend. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe he didn't know, or trying to understand the difference between a special friends and just a girl, because they're friends, they call me girlfriend. But then the next day, I asked again just to find out, and he said, oh, we had tea together, and I told my girlfriend that I love her because she's so pretty. I said, okay, they do understand a bit about not just a girl as a friend, but something special. So these are the things which surprises parents on, because I don't go through it when I was that age, you know, I can't remember. And here's my kids who's 5. After the end of the term, before the school holiday, he told me that he already had 4 girlfriends. So that was something that I need to deal with as well. The early education part on relationships, which I find it still a bit too early, but I cannot ignore because he seems to know a bit more than what I expected. It's quite interesting. At the same time, it's also a learning experience for me as new parents, how to handle my kids and how would I handle the other one when she goes to school. So it's challenging but interesting at the same time. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I have a question from the Facebook. Yes. So for everyone who's watching in, you can post your questions on the Facebook, and we will ask the questions to the panelists here. So this question is from Asar Osman. He asks, "Is this is for Tuan Saiful? Where did Ain get her strength to speak up? Is it because of your parenting? It is not easy for a teenager to be that brave given the way society is turning a blind eye on this issue."
I'm strength. Okay. Um, Mainly is because of her personality. You know, she's been very vocal since she was child, and about the parenting, what I and my wife did was that we always give her the trust and we give her the freedom to to express herself, you know. And I do bring her to many courses. I do bring her to many classes to expose her about public speaking, about do the right things that she wanted to do, and that's what the result is today lah. But one of the main component or main qualities that I can share to you is when I give her the chance to learn to read at very young age. When she was 4 years old, she already know how to read
Oh.
Bahasa Melayu, and then when she was 5, she can read Bahasa English very well, and she also, because of her, this is because part of her personality, she can speak in front of other people very confidently. So, and yeah, the kemahiran membaca giving her a big access to other knowledge and other information. So from there, she built her confidence, and I think that's play a very big part of her personality today. And to some of you that doesn't know that Ain is actually a dyslexia kid. She wrote terbalik, okay? When she was 4 years old, when she write, you need to letak cermin and only you can read whatever she wrote. That's Ain. But because of this one technique, readings, so-called Cahayaku, you can search over the internet, Cahayaku, she can learn easily. And from there, she built her confidence, she built her knowledge, she built her strength in whatever that she's passionate about. And it's not about like some people will say that, oh, why you push your kids to learn at a very early age? No. Using this technique, Cahayaku, learning is a very fun thing to do. So it suits our kids. It's not like macam some of the technique using latih to be and forcing her to again and again read. No, this technique is very good, and if you it is common among dyslexia children. They have facing a hardship to read. So this technique solved, and for me, alhamdulillah, because I got such opportunity to learn that technique, and from there she bloom and flourish.
Wow. But I think it's also your parenting, because otherwise how, I mean, she's encouraged, right, to be that character, to, obviously you also play the role in finding her the right kind of learning because of her what apalah, that she has dyslexia. But yeah, I think you shouldn't discount the fact that as a father you played such a big role in helping her be who she is. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, so I think as a last question for all of us today, as a father, do you think it's important for all fathers to speak up on this issue about sexual harassment, bullying at schools? Okay, we start with Tuan Saiful.
Okay, to all father, yeah, of course. This is about the well-being of your children. So this is one of the big issue that you need to address properly, and then let your kids understand their rights, let them speak up, and our kids have a potential. They can fulfill and achieve great things. So let them flourish, let them bloom. As a father, as like we said just now, like we're playing with the child, and you set the ground rules and what you are expecting from them. Let them understand what's going on, why do and don't, so they can really go and fulfill their potential. And regarding the sexual harassment issue, bullying and so on, as a father, parents, mother, everyone, we must remember, and this is what I learned during all this dengan Ain kan. This is what I really learned is that about the world is not about the bad people doing bad things. It's about the good people doing nothing.
Oh, that's a good quote. Yeah.
So play your part.
Thank you, Tuan Saiful. And what about Saif? What do you have to say about this?
Yeah, I think it's a sad thing that these things happens in our schools. So, but we have to go back to parents of how we raise up our kids. Even as young as 3 and 5 now, we try to teach our children about how they should deal with strangers, and if they are outside at schools or kindergarten, if they're being touched in other parts of their bodies which are not normal, then they should inform us. But we have to keep on telling them, because sometimes, well, being kids, they say you have to tell them 200 times only, then they will understand and listen. So at my stage at the moment, it's quite challenging because they're still 3 and 5. At the same time, it's also surprising that they would pick up things from social media, especially YouTube Kids, and argue with you. And for the schools, we as parents, we hope that schools would have that awareness, and would approach this type of things more professionally, and not just blaming the victim as it happens all the time, especially in our cultures. And it should be dealt with something that would move our society to get rid of that, the apa things, attitude. Because this thing would keep on repeating itself if we don't address this thing properly. So the home and the schools, and we as parents hope that school would be a safer place as well, besides being a good place to study.
Thank you, Saif. How about you, Ellen? What do you think? Should all fathers speak up on this issue?
For me personally, the fifth is it's more on the role that what fathers. I'm actually saying this to remind myself. Actually, that yes, the father got to be present in parenting, because more often than not, we always leave this to the Wonder Woman show, so-called the Wonder Woman to handle everything, and we are actually out there being Superman to work, bring back the brain and so forth. But these things have to change already. Roles have to change already. Parenting must have to not one where everything, I got school problem, mother go and see only. In fact, parents both of them must go. Both of them must go and ask what is actually wrong. Of course, we're not going there to fight, but to find out what's going on. So at least the school can see that, oh, there's a father figure coming in, not just the mother only. Because we are in the patriarchal society. So it's good to have both weighing in together and ask what is wrong. So that role for fathers, we have to include that role seriously into our life, not just go out there and work on it and then come back and then be very involved in parenting, and especially handling these type of cases when school related kind of cases.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So yeah, it's 4:17. I think it's time to wrap up this conversation we're having today. So I would like to thank all of you for spending your afternoon speaking with me on this panel. Yes, like Tuan Saiful said, when good people stay quiet, that's when, we allow this mad thing to happen and repeat itself. And the reason we have this panel session is because we really like Alan said, that fathers need to be present, because we can't rely on just one parent to do everything lah. Like, because the world is changing, parents are no longer, there's no just one breadwinner and one homemaker. The roles now are mixed. So it's more likely that in one family there are two breadwinners. Yeah, so if there are two breadwinners, two people sharing financial responsibilities, doesn't it only make sense that both parents should also share the responsibility at home? Yes. And yeah, so thank you all for coming. Do you have any last words or things that you want to say before we say goodbye? Anyone?
Well, I just want to say thank you to Sabrina and SERATA for giving this opportunity for us to share. And I thank you to these two gentlemen. I've learned a lot from them. Alan has gave me another level of assurance. And I've learned a lot from Saiful for, in case I have to face things like this in the future, hopefully not. And yeah, happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Thank you.
Yeah, happy Father's Day to everyone. Any last words, Tuan Saiful?
Thank you to everyone for sharing your thoughts and giving support, especially to Ain. And I really hope that this case can be solved, and this is not going to happen anymore in the future. But then, yeah, it's a very big hope, but still, we need to fight for it. And I'm very thankful to Sabrina, to SERATA, to Mr. Alan, to Mr. Thank you very much. And to all fathers, happy Father's Day. Take care of your children, take care of your family. Don't be like me previously, that is so conventional. Starts to communicate, show your love, express your love to your kids, and talk to them. Thank you.
Yeah, so if Tuan Saiful, if you ever need help, from for other non-profits, you can always count on us, SERATA. You just let us know. At least you have a supporter right here from Sabah. Yeah, if you want to spread you just want to spread the campaign further from where you are. Yeah. And yeah, to Alan, any last words?
Anyway, thank you very much for giving me this time and this space to share some ideas. And also, these ideas are not only for you, but it's just also for all of us. It's also for me to remind me what is my role as a father, which is evolving. And sometimes it's like a revolution, it's not evolution. Sometimes things have to happens very, very fast, and it's an opportunity to change all the time. So thank you very much for this opportunity.
Yeah, thank you, Alan, because I think you put you know, a good perspective as well to this conversation, like what can we do, how to recognize, you know, because sometimes when we just talk about this issue without, you know, at least some expert feedback is otherwise macam, you know, syok sendiri juga lah. So anyway, thank you guys so much, and I hope you have the good rest of the weekend. Yeah, so enjoy your Father's Day. Everyone, okay? Bye.
Bye.